Welcome back to another Ready or Not video. Before we get into it, I'd like to shout out my partnership, Buy Games Cheaper with Instant Gaming. The links will be down below in the description. We did a video back in March showcasing some really amazing modifications that ultimately increase the overall gameplay experience for Ready or Not. However, when the Home Invasion DLC was released, it broke a lot of the mods that I showed off in that video, and as of recently, we have had a lot of those updated, and some of them were even completely recreated into different mods. With that, I feel like I'm inclined to update that list of recommended mods, and there were also some mods that were brought back that weren't immediately available when 1.0 released. Without further ado, we're going to be showcasing my recommended modifications that will increase the overall realism and immersion for Ready or Not. Starting out with Gunfighter. Gunfighter is a mod aiming to provide a realistic gunfight experience in theory, covering CQB concepts and tactical thinking. It is intended to provide players with a comprehensive combat effectiveness enhancer while being compatible with teams of various playstyles. Now, I made a recent video going through all of the awesome features that Gunfighter has to offer, and I'd highly recommend checking out that video to get a full scope on what Gunfighter changes. That link will be down below in the description if you guys want to check that out. As a quick overview though, Gunfighter overhauls many areas of Ready or Not, including recoil control, the max number of allowed equipment slots, firearm field of view, additional grenades and unlocked firearms, improved night vision goggles, and movement speed. I very much recommend Gunfighter for those that really want that realistic feel to Ready or Not. One awesome thing with this mod as well is that the mod author offers many optional files so you can use the features that you like. Next, we'll be looking at a few different AI mods that I'd recommend. The first one is going to be Fig Tree's Ready or Not Here I Come AI mod pack. Now, this mod pack comes with a vast number of different options to choose from. My favorite is the Invictus Tactical AI mod, which aims to make the AI more realistic and more willing to surrender, which is great with the type of playstyle I enjoy. The other one that I really enjoy that can be fun from time to time is the new Fierce AI mod, which adds a huge number of suspects on the map, and they are all super unpredictable. The other AI mod pack that I'd recommend checking out is ASTRAL'S Revamped AI, which was just updated recently. This one revamps the AI behaviors that aim to make the game more dynamic. You'll notice in this one that the AI actually likes to hide and take cover more often, which is a huge game changer, and the AI enemies really start to come to life. There are some really good AI mods out there, but these two right here are definitely on the higher end in terms of quality, and they are always receiving updates. Next, we're looking at the Visceral Blood mod. Now, I always thought the blood and gore system in vanilla Ready or Not was super immersive, and I never really had any complaints. However, when I first saw this blood overhaul mod, I absolutely had to have this in my game. This mod right here changes the blood textures, making them sharper with new animations. It also makes the wounds more brutal and lifelike. I definitely recommend this mod if you want your game to have that extra level of realistic looking gore. This next mod we're going to be looking at is RICO'S Immersive Talk. This mod right here adds some crazy sounding realistic voice lines to talk. A lot of the voice lines have been completely revamped using real dispatch audio in response to numerous actions in the game.
Element to talk. Civilian is in custody, requesting escort.
1624 copies to command post.
Sorry, I apologize again. PD is asking for emergent medical.
Entry team to talk. We have a civilian in our custody.
1621 copies.
Element to talk. We have a civilian down here.
10-4. Is TFD still on scene?
If you're an advocate for realistic sounding radios and dispatch audio, you absolutely need to try this mod in your game. It makes a massive difference. Now, this next one is a pretty big one. We're going to be looking at firearm modifications. I know everyone is a little bit different, and I like my arsenal to look a certain way due to my personal preferences. I am a huge nerd when it comes to making sure my game makes sense with what large metro police departments would use in their real SWAT team. And with that, it's rare to see FDE firearms in most, I guess, metropolitan police departments. This mod right here is called Black Weapons, which completely removes the FDE and makes all of the firearms black. I really like this mod as it gives it that law enforcement look all around. Now, I have a few different firearm mods that completely remodel a few of my guns, and a lot of this is due to just being tired of using the same model over and over again, so it's nice to change it up with a new nice looking gun model from time to time. Right now, I am using the HK416D SMR, and the reason I like this one is because of the laser device that is always attached to the front of the rifle. versatile. I really like that aesthetic of the laser on the front there, and it's super common to see this from SWAT officers, and it looks really cool even if I'm not using the laser device. I also use the SR16 CQB, which is a really nice alternative to the vanilla SR16. I always kind of thought the vanilla SR16 was bland and I rarely used it. However, with this mod, I started using this gun more often as it looks a lot more high quality. I am also trying out the new SIG Seesaw, which is a new mod by Ballistic. I do enjoy the look of the vanilla MCX as well, but I really wanted to check out this one and I've been sticking with it for a while now. The mod that I would absolutely recommend to try out with all of these really cool gun mods is Attachment Expansion. This is probably the #1 most recommended mod for firearm enthusiasts. This mod right here offers a huge number of new attachments for modded firearms. If you like the ability to be able to modify your firearm in almost any way you'd prefer, I'd absolutely recommend checking this one out. The only real downside to Attachment Expansion is the accessibility in multiplayer. This mod will crash other players if they don't have this one installed, so make sure that everyone that you're playing with is using Attachment Expansion. Also, to add on to that, Attachment Expansion isn't a requirement to use for the firearms that I mentioned. The next one we have here is called Switch Illuminator. This mod allows you to utilize both a flashlight and laser attachment on your firearm. In the vanilla game, this is not possible, and you're forced to use one or the other. I always thought this choice was an interesting decision by the developers, as most tactical shooters nowadays allow you to use both. Either way, this mod comes in 2 versions. One is with networking and the other is without networking. You are required to use the networking version of this mod if you are planning on playing with this mod on multiplayer. There is also some extra steps in your app data folder that you will have to do in order to get this mod working properly. The installation steps are on the mod page and it's pretty simple. Switch Illuminator is an absolute must-have mod for those that want their game to have the most realistic features. Lastly, we're going to be checking out some of the best looking cosmetic mods. Just like with the firearm choices, I also really enjoy having my game simulate as close to real life police departments as possible. The first one I recommend is the lore-friendly LAPD style SWAT, which adds various changes to the default SWAT outfits. This mod adds LAPD style retextures to the original shirts and pants. There is a navy blue option and a black option. Also notice that this is a lore-friendly mod as well, meaning it will fit with the rest of the clothing variations. Along with this one, adding to the same aesthetic, I use the LSPD blue softshell jacket, which adds a short and long sleeve version. Also adding onto the aesthetic as well, I use the LSPD Shaw Concepts Arc 2 plate carrier, and one of the reasons I like this mod is because it actually has the police patches on it compared to the other vest styles. I also use the FPC plate carrier with the police patch, the Speedster shirt with LSPD patches, and the LSPD blue Cerro Torre L5 knee pad pants. To increase variation further, I'd also recommend trying out the Pup SWAT mod, which adds some really awesome looking 90s SWAT uniforms. These ones look so much better than the vanilla versions as well. I'd also recommend trying out the Los Suenos Police Department uniform mod. This mod adds in some really high quality patrol uniforms that look really great with the law enforcement aesthetic. Just keep in mind that this mod could conflict with other cosmetic mods, so be sure to install this one by itself. Lastly, I use these awesome looking Mechanix gloves that are super common amongst real life operators, making it perfect to add to the list of realistic mods. And that right there is going to wrap up all of my most recent recommended modifications for realism and immersion. Please let me know down in the comments if you think I left something out, or maybe you have something that you'd like to recommend as well. Thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.